Alright, hi, I'm Jenna and I am 15 years old. I'm going to be talking about self-worth and self-confidence. This topic is very important to me because I believe that it is not talked about enough, and because it is not educated enough to young children, teens, and young adults. I believe that having self-confidence and believing in yourself from a young age will get you so much farther in life than starting to believe in yourself when you're already in college or later in life. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this video because it's really important to me, and I believe that we should start a conversation about self-confidence now rather than later. To me, confidence is an abstract way of carrying yourself into the best of your ability. The biggest source of a lack of confidence is comparison. Research shows that social comparison is the #1 way to damage your self-esteem. I, as well as most of you guys, would strongly agree with that. So I've noticed those small little comments that you say to yourself or about yourself will slowly start to pile up, and eventually you'll start to believe them. Confidence is not walking into a room and knowing that you're better than everyone else. It's knowing that it's not necessary for you to compare yourself to anyone. So that means you are at no competition with anyone else. You are humble and at peace with yourself. And that means that you have the choice if you want to be at peace with yourself. And speaking of comparison, school is the #1 most popular place for this to happen. Among high school students, 44% of girls and 16% of guys attempt to lose weight. Whenever I hear things related to losing weight on purpose, it's just crazy to me. Because you have been given your body for a reason. You have been given your imperfections for a reason, and it's to be you, yourself, and only yourself. I know this sounds cliche, but if everyone was so similar and if everyone had the same face and the same body type, the human race would be so boring. Being different than everyone else is such a blessing to yourself and others, and a lot of people don't even realize that. Being able to be different than everyone else and being content with it inside yourself will allow you to grow and expand into your own person in your own creative, artistic, physical, emotional way. 7 in 10 girls believe that they are not good enough or do not measure up in some way, if that means in their looks, performance in school, and even relationships with friends and family. This is a little more serious because those 7 in 10 girls are basically questioning their own worth. And let me just tell you, you and everyone around you deserves the world. And just a disclaimer, if you're not religious or don't believe in anything like that, then that's totally fine. I respect that. That I just wanted to let you guys know that the same God who created oceans and mountains and the world looked at the world and thought it needed one of you too. I did not make that quote up myself. I found it on Pintrest and I don't know who it's by. That just shows that everyone that you meet in your life or people that you just see in the hallways or anything like that, they have a purpose, you have a purpose, and a lot of people don't realize that. But everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. And you might have a certain quality that someone else doesn't have. And that's what makes everyone so different and so abstract in their own way. This is more of a personal experience rather than a fact. I have realized that within the past around 2 years that girls and boys both apologize for things that don't really matter. This is just one of many small habits that we don't realize that we do that will lead to larger things in the future. The small things that we apologize for are kind of detrimental because it makes you believe that most things are your fault, and it will further damage your perception of yourself. And remember that you have the choice, and in this case that would apply to being more aware and sure of yourself. And that leads me into my next topic, which is having strong confidence in yourself gives you the ability to stand up for yourself and allows you to put yourself first. And I have seen this in myself and others, and it just starts with a few things, such as speaking up for yourself and telling your teacher that you don't understand something, standing tall and speaking strongly. And this last one, it's pretty important to me. It's whenever you catch yourself or others saying something negative, is following it up with something more optimistic. This allows to plant a seed in your brain to think of the worst of having a really bad situation and thinking of at least one thing that'll be positive about it. In relation to exerting some negative comments into the world, it reminds me of this one quote I also saw on Pinterest, and that is, if it won't matter in 5 years, then why spend 5 minutes on it now? And let me just tell you, I tell this quote to my friends who complain about other people, school assignments, sports, literally anything, and it immediately shuts them down and they get frustrated, and deep down it's because they know that it's true. You and only you have the power to change your way of thinking and your perception of yourself. And once you just have that foundation, you can grow into such a great person, and I've seen it in my friends throughout the years and other people on social media, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. That pretty much wraps up about all I want to say today about self-worth and self-confidence. And if you would like to learn more about how you can advocate for yourself and others, or if you would like to learn more about your own self-confidence and your own self-worth, you can visit childmind.org, psychnet.apa.org, and lastly, humanrightsadvocates.org. And I will post all of those links down in the description below if you want to check those out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This topic is really important to me, and I really hope you got something out of this video that you can apply to yourself or others in the real world. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.